Okay. All right, well, it looks like we have a quorum, so I think I will call the meeting to order. And I will request staff confirmation that the Kansas Open Meetings Act required notice has been provided.
Yes, it has.
Okay. And a roll call, please.
Commissioner Castle,
Here.
Commissioner Hubbard, Commissioner Kroger,
Here.
Chair Oakes,
Here.
Commissioner Kermer, Commissioner Arnold,
Here.
Vice Chair Coates,
Here.
Commissioner Lamar.
Here.
Okay. We were sent a copy of the minutes from the last meeting. Does anyone have any additions that or changes that need to be made to those? And if not, I will accept a motion to accept those the minutes.
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor of approval of the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, same sign. And those are approved. New business, I don't think we have any new business at this time. Okay. And then public hearing items, I don't think we have any at this time. Okay.
No, and there's no one online or anything.
Okay. And we have a guest speaker today from Independent Connections. Is Angie Sanger, Executive Director, or are you Elisa?
Yes, my name is Elisa.
Okay, Elisa Boyles, Community Engagement Coordinator.
That's right, yes.
And we've got some handout information that we can kind of follow along on this.
Perfect. Yeah, well, thank you all for allowing me to be here today so I can get to share with all of you. As you already said, my name is Elisa Boyles, and I'm the Community Engagement Coordinator with Independent Connection. And so over the next couple of minutes, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to share a little bit about who we are and what we do. So first slide. That's okay.
Maybe.
I see it.
Something's
Saw it.
happening.
Now we get
I
the
saw
sheet.
it up there for a minute. The little one. Yay, success.
Yay.
Yay, good.
Wonderful. No, that's okay. Perfect. All right, so next slide. So Independent Connection, we are a Center for Independent Living, also known as a CIL. And what this means is we are a private nonprofit that is consumer-controlled, community-based, cross-disability, and non-residential center, providing an array of independent living services. We do serve 9 counties in north central Kansas, and so it's basically Saline County and north. We have always had an office location in Salina, but as of March 2025, we now also have an office in Concordia that we've just opened up. So we're excited to reach more of those northern counties that we serve. At least 51% of our staff and board of directors are people with disabilities and are part of the independent living movement. And we are currently hiring for some new positions and expect to have 14 working staff once we're fully staffed to support consumers. This is a map, as you can see, that kind of shows, again, we're in that light blue up top, those 9 counties that we serve, but it also shows just all of the other CILs that are across the state of Kansas and those different counties that they serve as well. Next slide. So again, who we are and what we do. We provide 6 core services in supporting any type of disability. So whether it be someone with long-term, short-term, intellectual, physical, visible or invisible disability, and all of our services are free. As far as for our core service of advocacy, we advocate at local, state, and federal levels for integration, public access, policy changes, and anything that can positively impact people with all types of disabilities. So this means that we can support a person in visiting with their doctor about their needs, connecting them with lawmakers to visit about changes that they'd like to see in the community, and essentially we're just helping people to find their own voice. For our core service of information and referrals, we are linking people with disabilities to information that service or promote independence and access to community resources. So some examples of this might be helping them in obtaining their information so that way they can obtain their driver's license, or could be as simple as sharing phone numbers with other organizations so that way they can get the resources that they're needing. For the core service of peer services, we provide support for all of the emotional ups and downs of a disability. So this could be individual support, which occurs during an in-person meeting or over the phone. Or we also have group peer service groups. 2 that are new to Independent Connection. We just started a partnership with the YMCA for a health and wellness peer group. And we also have Living Well with a Disability. For independent living skills training, what we do is we provide individuals with whatever skill training that fits their needs. So this can be done in our office, it can be done in the consumer's home, or it could be out in the community. Again, it's very flexible because it depends on the individual and their needs and whatever training that it is that they're hoping to achieve. So we're connecting them with whatever it is that they may want, whether it's organizing a grocery list that fits their budget, it could be help with using the computer, or if they have questions about public transportation, filling out forms, different things like that. Youth transitions, we're supporting youth into adulthood. So this could be from middle school to high school, it could be high school to college, it could be supporting someone, a youth that's in foster care transitioning into adulthood. We can support them in making plans to continue their education. Maybe they're wanting to ensure that they have supports, the same that may be similar to what they had in high school if they, through their IEP. It could also be finding employment and housing, just whatever that transition or that next step is, just making sure that we're there to support them. Our 6th core service is returning home. So what we do is we're supporting folks, whether it be moving out of a nursing home facility, an institution, returning home from a treatment facility or a hospital, and we support people who want to remain living in their own home. Although we do have those 6 core services, we do have additional services as well. And again, so we're supporting any person with any disability at any age, and all of our services are free. So some additional services we offer could be employment. Maybe it's with referrals into an employment service, assisting someone with finding assistive technology. Maybe it's finding a job or completing pre-employment training. For housing, we're assisting, folks to find accessible and affordable housing, and support if there's a landlord or tenant concern that may arise. For community education, we deliver presentations like this one about independent connection, and we are planning on offering a training that promotes disability etiquette and sensitivity. This past Sunday, I actually did 2 of those, and they went pretty well, so we're excited to continue that. Basically, what you're doing when you call us, whether it be an individual with a disability or a partner, somebody in the community, what you're doing by reaching out to us is you're just adding another person to your team. We're here to walk alongside people and just to help them with whatever their needs are. Although all of our services are free to an individual, we do have one fee for service, which is an accessibility review. And so there we can just come into maybe a business or a partner that's just wanting to ensure that their facility is accessible. We can just come in and kind of help them alongside with that review. That is our one fee for service that we offer. And so it's just kind of preparing them for that ADA, making sure that they're ADA compliant when they go to have that assessment done. Okay, so we do have just a few events that are coming up that I'd like to share. This is going to be the 3rd year that Independent Connection has their poster contest. So there will be more information to come. So for anyone that's interested in participating in that, just feel free to check out our website so that we can see contest rules, deadlines, submission information. It is open to the public. Anyone is able to participate, so just keep an eye out for that. And additionally, 2025 will mark 35 years since of the ADA anniversary celebration. So we will be having our celebration on July 25th, and that will be at the Smoky Hill Museum. So at that event, we will display all of the posters that are submitted for the contest, and that's where we'll announce our winner, give prizes, and just celebrate this incredible landmark. So just make sure you check out our website for more information. Follow up with an email. We do have a quarterly newsletter. And thank you so much for allowing me to be here today.
Can I ask a quick question?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
What age of clients do you usually work with?
So we serve all ages.
Okay.
Primarily, and I might be misspeaking here, but I believe that we're more, right now, a lot of our consumers are more like middle age, like 40s and up.
Okay.
But we do serve any person, again, any disability, any age.
Okay.
We are kicking off our Youth Transition Network program, and so that program itself is from ages 10 to 24, I believe. And so we're really excited to be in the schools more to push that forward.
And with that, do you work like with Voc Rehab or some
Absolutely.
of those other programs?
Yes.
Okay. And one more question. Equipment, do you help people to get equipment, or do you have some equipment, or?
Sure. So we do not have equipment in-house, but we do know of a lot of resources. I know that Cassie Ramon, she had came and shared a couple of months back, and so we do utilize, Solution Outreach Center for assistive technology. There's a lot of other programs out there as well, but, that's just the closest example.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay.
Thank
Well, thank
you.
you again.
Thank you.
If I could just add that that's one of our goals was to have educational opportunities here. If we guys have any other suggestions for people you'd like to see or entities you'd like to have, please reach out and let us know. Don't email everyone. We don't want a group meeting, but please let staff know, if you would, of any more ideas that you have for presenters.
All right, next on the agenda is liaison reports. Commissioner Kermer has WCAG implementation, which kind of was website stuff, as I recall.
And she is not here, and that kind of goes, it merges a little bit with the transition plan.
Okay.
I don't know if she provided a report. Oh, she is online, okay. I don't know if she has any updates. I can update a little bit. We have not had an opportunity to meet while Lily's trying to get her pulled up.
Nor had I with
Yeah.
the transition, but I kind of figured you were busy with the fair housing seminar
it
and
was a
the
little
trainings
busy.
you were doing,
Yeah, it was a little busy, but I can update a little
Okay.
bit on both of those. I don't know if you have anything to offer, Commissioner Kermer, on the YCAG update, and that you had volunteered to be that liaison, but we haven't had a chance to speak. So there may not be much of an update on that. The deadline to have it implemented for all Title II entities is April 20, well, for our size of Title II entities below 50,000, which the city of Salina is, and we qualify, is April 26, 2027. So we're still got a little bit of time that we're working on that. I think what would be useful from Commissioner Kermer as a liaison in this committee is helping us do testing once we get some stuff up.
Okay.
We do have the current website up, but we're working to get some things there's still a lot of process on the accessibility side, and I think what would be helpful is some testing once we get to a certain stage. But we're in progress, and we just met again this morning on it. And have some meetings in June and August set. So before we come, we'll get there. We're going to try and get a better timeline that I think we can share with you a little more once we get that timeline solidified. But that's about all I have right now. And that'll probably be a big part of our transition plan, is getting this implemented as we finish up our older transition plan items.
Okay. And next is training, Vice Chair Coates.
Yes, I do not have anything to report. We will be discussing the fair housing seminar and preparing for the accessibility seminar under unfinished business.
Okay. And we briefly touched on transition plan, that's kind of an ongoing process.
Yes, and we've got quite a few updates. We've been updating. It's just progressing. Like, we took what they had and just making sure those things are up and adding the YCAG piece of it and the new things that come up. It's kind of like, as soon as you think you've got your list done, more things add. Whether we go out and have a whole new evaluation, we're still trying to get all of those transition items done, which we're hopeful almost everything will be done before the new city manager, and then we'll kind of, once that transition comes on board, we'll have a meeting. But we do have a meeting set again for I want to say it's June, just to keep everyone on track, that most of it falls under Parks and Recs and what they're doing, and that area. There's a little bit that falls under engineering and sidewalks. Those are always updated. I would say if any of you ever have a concern about a sidewalk, or a concern comes to you, let us know. Please reach out to us, because they prioritize them. But if we get a call from someone that has an area and we can see it's an area, because it's kind of always ongoing, right? Like, they get through everything and then stuff needs fixing, or that you don't know about stuff. And so that's the only thing is, I would say, let us know. The sidewalks are kind of ongoing. But we try and elevate if anyone comes forward and it's a concern in an area, we try and work on that. That's about it on the transition plan right now.
And then on the resource list, Marissa and I spoke briefly that I was going to do more of just a visual review of it rather than calling each entity this time.
Okay.
And so there's just been a very few changes, and I just thought of one to maybe that I will add to it. I learned that the garden spots at the food bank are now arranged through Parks and Rec.
Okay.
Rather than through, so if someone requests those, and there are garden plots that are accessible there as well. So I'll make sure I add that onto this as well.
It's good to know.
One other one that I had recently learned, effective June 1st, Salina Grace will be offering showers and limited laundry facilities. They still encourage people to take part in Laundry Love through the Salina Shares program. And then Marissa had a new one altogether.
Yes, the Resilience Clubhouse just opened.
Okay.
So they work a lot with people who have who are working through mental health issues along with drug recovery.
Okay. And do they have a location then here in
They
town? or-
do. I don't.
1111 South Street.
1111 South Street.
Okay.
Okay, and what it is it's for individuals. They join as a member, and it's a member-driven group. Although they have a little bit of staff called out Humphreys running it now, locally, and it's a model that they have one in Wichita, Newton, and some other places throughout the country. And you have to be a member, and then the members kind of run it. They help do all the programming, and so it's for people that qualified severe and mental. SPMI, what does it stand for? Persistent mental illness. And
Okay.
so they have to be qualified and accepted. And once you're a member, you're always a member. And then the members drive what programs they have and what they're doing. But it's pretty exciting. They're building
Okay.
it up. They're working on renovating that building. The members
Okay.
are.
And then they, of course, will make people aware of other resources and things
Yes.
that are available in Salina. So,
Yeah, and it's a place. It's like a day center kind of. I mean, it's a place for people to go and have a purpose and do projects together. And
okay.
Good.
yeah, it's a really neat program. I toured the one in Wichita.
And what did you call that program?
It's a
Resilience
clubhouse, and then they
Clubhouse.
came up with their name. It's the Resilience Clubhouse here. Each clubhouse comes up with their own name, and so ours in Salina is the Resilience Clubhouse.
That's neat.
Yeah.
111 South
South.
Street.
1111.
1111. Yeah,
11.
yeah. Sorry, 1111.
Okay. There was a lot of ones in that.
All
one.
ones.
It's like right across the street from the Ace Hardware.
Yeah, so kind of where wasn't it Crossroads in there at one time or something? Or there was
Is
a
it the
Okay.
Crossroads or
was it-
Revolution Church?
It was one of them. And
Okay.
the church is still there. They're on the other half of the building, kind of.
Okay.
Okay.
That was once a bowling alley.
Yes.
Okay.
Eons and eons ago. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And then I have one, I don't know that you have it on here, and I actually brought some information about
Okay.
it, but didn't bring what I should have brought, I
Okay.
guess. So we have our Saline County Food Action Community Team. Saline County Food Action Community Team.
And who is that based out? Are they affiliated with any one particular team?
No.
Place? Or they get all these food
It's,
entities?
yeah, it's like a coalition. It's like a food policy council. I'm actually the chair
Okay.
of this group, and we are right now doing a food assessment for Saline County. We have a website, which is eatwellsalinecounty.com. And on there, we have a one-page food resource guide for all of Saline County.
Okay. Policy Council made up of,
So we have representatives from various food-related organizations.
food-related provider, yeah.
Okay.
And so right now, we're doing a food assessment. We may try to do some policy work at some point, but we'll let the food assessment guide kind of the work that we need to do around food.
Very needed, so that's very good. Okay, anybody else have any other new and exciting things like that? Okay, under unfinished business, we finished up last Friday with the Fair Housing Seminar. I attended a couple hours, and it was well attended, I thought. And the speakers that I heard were quite good.
Yeah, we were very pleased with
Yeah.
the share. We held it at the OCCK's training facility for the first time, and it worked out beautifully. It was a great facility for that. It was much more accessible than our prior some issues with our prior place of venue. Not all their fault, can't predict when an elevator is going to break, but it had a lot of stairs there, so it was a little difficult that day. Anyway, so it was a lovely facility. We really enjoyed it. We appreciate them being a sponsor and hosting it there. We hope maybe we can do our second half of the accessibility seminar there. It turned out to be a fantastic venue.
And it, numbers-wise, it looked comparable.
It was
to
a
what the
little
past couple
down on
years.
employment or on enrollees, but by the time we had everyone in the same room and stuff, it felt about the same. Lily, what was our final head count for attendees? 35?
37.
Okay.
37. So comparable. We range up to. I don't think we've had more than 50 enrollees. We usually have 60 people there in the day, and we were probably just short of that, just a little bit. We could have had room. I mean, we would have still made room if we'd have had the full 60, but the vendors were all in the same rooms. They weren't separated this year, and the booths, so it was kind of nice. They didn't feel like when we were in session, they were just sitting there. They could listen and
Yeah.
join in.
And the
So,
speakers were good.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
I heard a presentation from DVAC and a presentation from the man and woman from Topeka who
The Disability Rights
were
Center.
disability rights specialists, and they were good.
Yeah. Well,
Now, they were good last year, too.
Yeah, and so you can thank Lily. Lily gets all the credit for heavy lifting on that. She did a great job putting it together. And Marissa helped too. She was our great advertising. Look for a thing on TikTok. Marissa made a TikTok video about it. So as soon as it's out on the city's wet TikTok, we just started TikTok. So we're going to
boy.
promote that. Marissa did a little great video that I should post it pretty soon.
Okay. And then the second point in unfinished business is preparing for the accessibility seminar that will happen this spring, likely to be held out at OCCK again.
Yeah, is it spring or October? Because
fall. I'm sorry, okay.
The spring is this
Yeah,
one.
is
We
this
just
one. Yeah, I'm
finished.
sorry.
You're good.
I'm circling around and.
So
yeah.
October is when we're planning, and now that we got through this, our plan was by the next meeting to have an update on that as part of the training.
Okay.
But we're looking at October, and I think it works so well if we can get generous use of it again from OCCK. We loved the venue, and I think it worked really well if we can do it again. But anyone that has ideas for speakers or topics, that's always kind of, trying to find the topics and the speakers. Last year, I would submit, it's probably good to maybe we did about a half day or 3 or 4 hours last year for the accessibility seminar, and I'd probably propose that's what we do again this year. Give it a couple hours. So it's not a full meal that we're feeding everyone either, and we can keep it free. I would like to be able to maintain it for free. I think we'll be able to manage that, but I think we'll get together with the chair of the training liaison and we'll have a more firm proposal this next time, but we would really encourage any input, any ideas, anything you wish we could try and find a speaker on that would be useful for individuals.
I think there's ongoing interest in therapy animals and support animals, which has been covered in the Fair Housing seminar a couple, 2-3 times by various speakers, but from the accessibility side of it might be an interesting topic.
Yeah.
And then the other one that I was thinking of is sensory sensitivity information in the community. Yeah.
Okay. And any speakers, don't email each other, just email us. We don't want to start a meeting. But if you would let email one of us on staff, and we'll then discuss it and try and present some ideas.
Okay. Next item under unfinished business, announce an opportunity to participate in a survey from KU.
Yes, I received a notice of this and we thought we would share it here. There's a 2025 National Survey on Health and Disability that KU is performing a study on. So we provided the link. It's in the board packets and on the agenda here. I don't know, they didn't say when I received this information how long it was going to be available, but we were hoping we'd get this information out fast enough that you could still participate in it. But make your voice and experiences heard. Go to that link.
And is it for individuals with disabilities only?
That was my understanding.
Okay.
But take a look at it. That was anyone over who are 18 years or over to take the survey. Adults
Okay.
with disabilities. That's pretty much all that was in the clip, and I don't remember where I found this or what email it came through because I get so many, but I thought it was worth pointing
Sure,
out at this
yeah.
committee.
Very good. Okay. There is no one here for a public forum. You electronic people have anybody?
I don't know if Commissioner Kermer has anything to add.
Would I be able to share the
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
flyers on so like I mentioned, we are doing the
Thanks.
countywide food assessment survey. So we're doing that, running that from now until May 15th. And so we're just asking anyone that lives, eats, purchases, produces food in Saline County to participate in the survey. It might take 10 to 15 minutes. It feels kind of lengthy once you get in the middle of it, but we are really working to get a full understanding of the entire food system within Saline County. And so there's a lot that goes into a food system. So production, transportation, access, waste, kind of all of those things. So there's a full range of questions, and we would really appreciate it if you guys could take it. I'll give you guys these when I leave. And it's for any adults 18 and older, can be in the same household, so we prefer, everyone, spouses, share it with family and friends. We would really appreciate as good of a response as we could get.
And if any of the public then listening or may see this in the future, we'll have them in room 101 of the Saline County Building.
Great.
Community Relations 101 will have the extras that Commissioner Coates has shared.
And we do have an electronic version, which is on here, but then we can also get a paper version if someone prefers that.
Okay. Any other information? I always ask Michelle, what type of complaints have you gotten
And I
that
was
would
prepared
affect
this
us?
time.
Yay.
I wrote down some notices. So we did have someone call about Bill Burke and some concern with the Bill Burke restrooms and stuff, and they were wanting automatic doors, and those aren't required. But we did discuss, maybe the doors need some adjustments, and so we're going to go and make sure people check. We already discussed with Parks and Recs to go out and check and make sure that the pound pressure that it has to be is within requirements, and we'll be working on that. That wasn't on our original transition plan list, but they will go back and check on that, and we'll follow up. And she seemed satisfied with that answer, so I think it was good. She was just a concerned citizen. And then the other one, I had another one here that we had a call in. Oh, they were talking, it wasn't Title II, so it wasn't us, but they did call about some parking issues at another facility. And so we went and checked it, Marissa went and checked it out, and we looked at it, and it's in compliance. They had the number of parking spaces, but I know sometimes it feels like when they're full and you're frustrated and you can't find a spot that maybe there aren't enough. So usually when we get those calls, we go check, and they were in compliance, but that was a call we received.
And one more thing, Michelle, you had mentioned at the Fair Housing Seminar about grants for some housing repair
Oh,
in
yes.
North Salina.
I
And
will
I've-
always talk
I've,
about that.
I've seen it advertised on local media, so I thought, let's
And we
talk
have a
about
new
it a little bit.
TikTok that'll be coming out on that too.
TikTok.
We are becoming the TikTok department. We're trying. Anyway, so yes, glad to talk about this. We have home rehab grants that we're running. We have 2 grants that are funding this, and it's for a specific area. So Lily, help me out. It's Broadway, South Street, State and 9th, in that
block.
that square. It's in Census Tract 3, a portion of Census Tract 3. But yes, we have 2 different grants. One of the grants you will actually help with landlords. The other, they have to be owner occupied. Both of them actually help with owner occupied. So if you live within that area or renting within that area, please see us. There are income qualifications, and each of them have a little bit different income qualifications, but they're both supposed to be low to moderate, and how they calculate it, it's up to each vendor really. They base it a lot on the HUD numbers, and it changes every year, so we have to adjust it every year. But we have quite a few. We would love to have applicants come if you want help with your homes. It's not to make your homes like, it's not a DIY, making it. It's to make the homes keep them safe and stable and in the market, right? Like if the home becomes so disrepaired because someone can't maintain it, then it's another house out of the market. So our goal and objective with this is to keep the homes safe and repairable. So we're talking things like siding, foundations, if, depending how severe the foundation work is. Foundations get expensive quickly, but we can do some foundation repair, porches, siding, windows, doors, roofs, roofs. Yeah. And I'm trying to think what else. There's some interior work, and if someone needs some accessibility additions or something to make it habitable and, bringing it up to code or anything like that. Again, it is income qualified. And for the landlord does not have to meet income qualifications, but they need to have someone low income living there that meets the income qualifications. So if it's a landlord property, we're going to need application information from both the landlord and the tenant. And the landlord will have to put some money up, but the owner-occupied people do not have to put money towards this. It's up to so much. But the landlords, the grant requires them to put some contribution towards it too.
Okay. One other little item. I heard the other day that the group, and I can't think of the group right now, put in their 700th ramp.
Ambucks. Yes.
And they were so thrilled that, that is a wonderful service.
It really is. It's a very nice service. So, yeah,
They do a super job and are very open to helping anybody who needs
Yes.
a ramp.
Yes.
Yeah.
They do a really good job.
I know they have been really swamped this year because
Yeah.
I submit some requests and then I follow up with them, and they're like, "We're trying.
working,
It's on
we're
the
working."
list." But they've been really busy this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a great organization. And
700 ramps.
Yeah.
Maybe that's someone we can have come speak sometime.
Sure.
Sure.
Ambucks, both. They're 2 Ambucks groups,
Right.
Yes.
so.
It's the men's
Group that puts it
Breakfast
in.
Bandit that does
Yeah.
that does
The
it.
noon
Yes.
Ambucks noon network kind of helps with funding for. They use some. They
help
help
with
with the
funding.
funding
And
but-
scholarships.
so, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is very good as well.
Yes, but
Yes.
maybe we could have them come speak. Maybe that would be
That
some
would be
more
good.
time to share and what they do and let more people know about that. Great service just to our community.
It's
Wonderful
yeah.
service.
And they do such a nice job.
Yes.
Okay. Anybody else have anything that we want to add? Do you want to add anything,
I
Michelle?
don't think so. Thank you for reminding me about rehab. I
Okay.
wasn't thinking about that for here, but it's a great
It's
opportunity, and we need more applicants. So please come and apply.
Okay. All right. With that, I will accept a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
We are, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.